Yeah, back once again after the break to the Unix OSC Open Short Term course. In a morning session, Dr. P. Ganesh sir has taken, and sir has explained us how the beautifulness of an operating system will be there, and how the operating system and what is the need, how memory, and then how the operating system will work. Yeah, especially in that, coming to the Unix, how the kernel of that particular operating system will play the role, and how the surrounding shell will interact with that particular kernel, and how the task of us means whatever application we need, whatever a task we have told to the shell, how the shell will execute that task will interacting with an kernel. So how the usefulness or output of a fruit will be given to us as an end user. All these things sir has told, and sir has clearly explained what is how the Unix operating system, how it has been evolved. Everything sir has told with theoretical concept very clearly. Now, in a second session, we'll go with an hands-on. What is this? I'll tell you. We'll open a Unix operating system, and we'll go with some particular commands, and we'll see how this particular commands is going to execute, and how the Unix, whatever the multi-user concept is there, or multi-virtual mode of working, or multi-mode of working, all these things we'll test, and we'll see practically how this particular Unix operating system will work. Before going to that full practical in fledged, we will see some the other way of a practical, means other phase of an Unix operating system when we go with an practical things. We will start with that particular thing. Just yeah. Share. Yeah, coming to the Unix operating system, what is an OS and all sir told? It's very clear, and operating systems different, which sir has already told different operating systems about this and all, the architecture of that. Coming to the Unix, and sir has told clearly the history and how it has been came, what are the characteristics, and especially the kernel, how a kernel will be there, and how a memory management or a file management, what is the operating system functionalities will be there, how the kernel will do all that things. Sir has told very clearly in this particular sense. Coming to the Unix shells and GUIs, just will see in practical view what is a shell and how this shell will do and all. I mean to say like this, a shell is a watchdog. Why I'm telling like these words? What is this watchdog? Something. If we give some command to our watchdog or a dog, assume that our dog is there, and I will tell puppy, go bring that a ball. It will bring that ball and it will give to you. And if you throw something and you will tell, hey, catch that, then it will catch that. So if you tell some commands to your pet dog, it will do that particular thing. Assume that a Unix operating system is there and a kernel, everything is there. And to interact with your operating system, you need somebody as a user to interact. That somebody, the dog is in a shell for you. That is, you are going to give some command to your shell, and you tell, you do this thing for me. And your shell is the one which will take your command, and it will do, and it will execute that particular command, and it will give the result to you. So in general sense to say, shells are used for a command line input output to and for the users. Examples of a shell you can see here: the Bron shell is there, Bash shell is there, and C shell is there, and KSH cron shell is there. Usually we are using the Bash shell in our regular Linux, Fedora, Ubuntu, whatever the flavors which we are going to use. In that we are going to use the Bash shell actually. And a C shell, as a shell will be there. This is also a shell which will be used to execute on a commands of a user and all. In an environment mode of a commercial Unix, what sir has told, in that particular things, this plays a very much important role. That is a Bron shell and a C shell. like this, there are different types of shells are there, and each shell will have its own features, and it will execute which with its own flavorness. Coming to the GUIs. Your Unix operating system, I will make your Unix operating system to wear a GUI concepts. That is what do you mean by that? Terminal command mode line concepts, typing a commands, always remembering all the commands, typing, executing the things and all. Where in olden years, the Unix operating system has to be working like that. But now it's not a case like that. We are on a GUIs, and everything should be easy for us, and everything just we will click on items, or I will click on an icon, and it should work for me, and it should give a result for me. This kind of mind and technology has been came like that. In that sense, Unix has also improved in a lot ways of GUIs, and are used for a graphical input and output. What is this graphical flavor of an Unix? You can see here. Just let us see. Yeah, you can see here example Linux KDE, any Linux flavors you can take your Fedora or any Ubuntu, or you can take any other Linux flavors which you can take, and in that all GUI concepts which will be there. Genome will be there, and Mac OS Leopard is there. Leopard is on a MacBook, where you are having a MacBook laptops will be there with you, and that will works even on a Unix flavor only with a GUI concepts. Next thing is Unix system utilities. What do you mean by this? First, you should know this. What are the things I can use rather than a system side, other than just on a user side, and just with an application side, what I can use? That differentiation should be there as a user and a developer. That is very much important here. Yeah, system utilities are specialized software tools or commands. So that is that I want to utilize the operating system. How I can utilize the operating system? I should give some command, and that command should work. So how the system utilities which you can take out, these are all the examples of some particular commands: ls, cp, grep, awk, bc, wc, more, rm, mkdir. These are the some system utilities commands which is there, and you can invoke with an operating system, and you can see what type of files, what's the contents and that everything. I'll tell each and every command. We'll see within a syntax and how you can execute that particular commands. Daemons provide a remote network and an administration services. This is also will be there. So what do you mean by this? See how I can connect to the remote logins. When Sarah told in the morning the features of a Unix operating system, multi-user environment will be there, and logins will have multi-tasks we can also do in a Unix operating system. So how that things will be done, what commands we are going to use, on which type of remote logins you can do using a Unix operating system. Yes, SH will be there as a remote login. We are going to use a telnet for this, and you can connect using SSH protocol. What do you mean by this SSH login? I will have a Unix server here, means Unix operating system is running in my particular laptop, and I will give some IP address of my particular operating system, and the telnet or connectivity, whatever tool will be there, that will be there in a terminals. Once if you connect to that particular terminal, you are working with my server, and you will have only terminal there. Whatever commands you are executing, whatever a task you are doing, everything will be keep on saving in this particular server system. So this is a one way, means where others will be keep on working with single particular system. And even you can take a printout. So LPD is a command which will be used to connect for a remote printing or a remote printer. You can pass the LPD commands, and you can get a different documentary printouts from the remote place. And HTTPD is the one where you can go with a web applications, means you can open any websites, and you can go with that particular websites. Enough things. Coming to the next. Now, Unix application programs. What do you mean by this? I have told Unix system utility programs, and now I'm telling Unix application programs. Here the differences you can see. With the Unix operating system, whatever things you want to utilize based on a system is based on an operating system, that is utilities of a system. Now Unix application programs, I want to run some applications, in my Unix environment. How I can run that applications in my Unix environment? Then what are the things needed for me to run that particular application? So that is another important thing which we should take. That is, you can see here, this is the software that users commonly interact with usually. VI and Emacs as in a text editors, it will be there. Usually, you know already, we are using VI editor as well as G editor also. We are using in the latest versions, that you must know. So why these editors? To type one particular instructions, to type a program according to us, we need, if any application program I want to do, I want to type in a instructions, means one by one is a set of instructions will make in a program. So I need a place for that. Where the place? The Unix operating system will provide Emacs text editor or VI or on a G edit text editors will be provided for us to type on a program of any application. So how to run this? We should run the different application programs using a compilers or an interpreters of that particular application. For example, your C programs will run with the GCC compiler, and Java programs will run with Java C compiler, and Java runtime file virtual machine will be run with a Java. So these are the things. Means it should be there. It should be default in some Linux operating systems. Default it will be there. You can use directly the GCC command, and you can work it out. Means like Fedora, Ubuntu, and all GCC will be default will be there in that. And even Java, some version of Java will be default. It will be there in that particular applications. If you want to install some applications, other applications on a Unix operating system and all that, I will tell you how you have to install some particular applications and all that we are going to study in advanced commands, how you are going to use things. A programming language, as you know this, how a computations will be done, how a syntax errors, everything, where semantic errors will be taken into the consideration, that you know about a programming language. What is a compiler? See, this is a one you should know always. Why I should tell you? Here we are thinking about a Unix operating system, and you can ask me the question, sir, why you are telling about a compiler? So how in your Unix operating system, if I type in a command, for example, GCC, assume, leave Java, GCC abc.c command, assume. If I type and press enter, how that particular command will be executed? So how a compiler, the operating system will be invoked. So whatever a Java program is there, Java compiler, then it will compiles everything if it is correct. Java virtual machine means it will convert to the bytecode, and just a class file will be there as a with a name of that, and you are going to run that using a Java command. So in this way, you are going to execute the things. So coming to the next thing, the leave virtual machines. Now we'll get into the practical ness of an Unix, logging into the Unix. So Unix always it will prefers you to enter with a login. You have to enter username and a password. So this is the first thing which you should. And we'll go with an hands-on session. I will go with the Unix operating system, which I am having as a Linux flavor. Fedora is there with me, and you can see that. Just I'll stop this. We'll go with the other one. Window. Right, and I'll be here with VMware, which I have installed, and I'll go with a Unix operating system. Now you can see here clearly, you can see here how a booting of a Unix operating system is going to be done. In our things, it's a Linux, how it is going to be booted. You can see here the things, the Red Hat Bash version, whatever is there. So that Bash version is there of 6.019, starting version is there. So even though I'm using a Linux operating system, so here Red Hat is the one where we are going to use a kernel of that particular version. I will tell you which version of kernel we are using and which version of an shell also we are using. We are going to discuss. Now assume that when you switch on a Unix operating system, the Linux or an Unix will load in this particular way. Yeah, now you can see it's been asking like that other student you can log in. User is like a student. Also is there if you click on a student username and a password, it will ask. Now for a mean sake, let it be with this username and a password. Now I'll type a username here as an root. Don't worry about user now. I'll tell you what's a root user, what is a other user and all. I'll tell you later. Now, just for a sec, for any Unix operating system, username and a password is must. That you have to keep in your mind. So that is username is a root which I have given now. Password I have to enter root 123. That's a password which I have given. Now continue with the session. It goes within a GUI concept. As we know that we are with a Linux, right? And our Unix operating system has been loaded. And now here was a Unix operating system in flavor of the Linux, that is Fedora 8. Now coming to the terminal. Now what do you mean by this? This is a terminal where you can execute all the Unix commands and you can see that particular things. Now assume, now coming back here, root at localhost hash is there, y hash, and this cursor is blinking here. Now according to me, just before going to any Unix commands and all, why cursor is blinking there? Assume that. Now if you are in a Unix flavor and no GUI concept will be there, just for a sec I'll tell you, once if you load a Unix operating system, directly according to your user privileges, either you will come to the dollar prompt or a hash prompt. So hash prompt is the one where it's for an administrator, means area or an user. So that is a root user, and he is having almost all the privileges of the Unix operating system, and he can use and he can go wherever he want on a Unix operating system, and he can invoke all the things. Just now let it be we are the root as an administrator and we are going to execute some particular commands. Now at this particular stage, I know I'm an illiterate of this Unix operating system. I don't know anything. I'll type ABCD and I will press enter. Now, if I press A, B, C, D and press I enter here, I got something. Something who has told us means something has displayed on a terminal that you can read bash ABCD command not found. What do you mean by this particular output which I got? Even just I typed something like ABCD, which is a meaningless, and I pressed the enter, and some message I got that bash ABCD command not found. What do you mean by this? If you split this particular output bash is your shell. That means your shell is in a watchdog which is keep on waiting for your command with a cursor blinking on. That means now your bash shell is opened. Once the bash shell has been executed means you are going to get a prompt and then with a cursor which is blinking. And if you tell some command to that, it will go and search in your Unix operating system. It will see whether that particular command is there. And it's already defined what for this particular command is. Then it will execute that command and it will come back. Now, according to this particular output, you can see here ABCD is an unknown command. It's telling a command not found. Not found means something it's searching. It's searching. Where it is searching? The question arises where it is searching, how it is searching. Correct? No. Observe carefully. Bash is a shell. Now this part we came to know that. Now bash is telling that ABCD, that is whatever I typed and whatever I input I given, that part, that ABCD, that is telling that command not found. What do you mean by this? The bash is going in search of your Unix operating system. It will search whether the command named ABCD is there or not. If ABCD command is found, then it will execute that particular command. Then it will give you the output. If that command is not there, it will tell you command not found. Very clear. Now you can ask me the question, sir, okay, you told correct, and where these commands will be there? This question arises always whenever we'll go with an Unix. Sir, you told the command will be searched, where it will be searched, and how it will be searched. So there will be two types of commands always in Unix operating system, that is internal and external commands. What do you mean by this? The commands which will be there internally within a shell, means the shell within itself, it has some particular commands. I'll tell you which are those commands, don't worry about it. First, the shell, what it will do, it will look in its ABCD. I typed, first it will look in its, either ABCD command is there internally in me bash shell. If it is there, directly it will give you the output. No need to ask anybody there. Why? Because that command is there already in a shell. Shell knows about that very clearly. Are you getting? Right. Now coming to the next thing, external command. Shell ABCD, it searched within itself. ABCD is not there. Okay, right. And maybe ABCD is a command which will be there as an external command. That is, somewhere it will be, all external commands will be there in a Unix operating system at one particular folder. So Unix file system, the commands for a command set, some folders are there, it will keep in that. It will go to that folders, it will check either ABCD or either. So ABCD, if it is there, then automatically it will take that ABCD and it will ask your kernel, see, I want to execute this particular command, please execute me and give me the output. So how a shell will ask a kernel, like what I told you, it will ask like that? No, it can't ask like that. Why? Because a shell is just an instructions, a program which has been written by somebody like you and me. So how the instructions will be given to the shell, that so whatever a command it has taken and it should give to the kernel and it should execute. So that is a beautiful concept of a system calls and how a kernel, means how a shell will interact with this particular kernel. So that concept will be there. That is using some system calls. That is, first it will, one procedure of a system call will be there. What? Nothing. System call is just a small code of instructions written. Your shell will tell, I want to give you some output of a command. Can you execute? Then kernel will take, I will solve that particular core thing. Yeah, I can solve. Then with other system call, it will send that as an parameter. Sorry. Yeah, it will send that as an parameters to that particular kernel, and whatever the kernel will execute that particular command, the output whatever will be there will be sent in another system call. So the shell will take that particular output and it will display that on a monitor. Now, in this particular case of ABCD, even the ABCD is not at all an external command also. In that directories, whatever folders are there, there also ABCD not found. So then your bash shell means your shell, bash shell as telling that this command is not found. So in this way, it will work. Next, we'll go with the further things. Just as start, we'll go with the PPT now. Just yeah. Yeah. Now see the command. One of the command I have given here very clearly. That is PWD. I will type present working directory. So which is a present working directory which we can know, and so we should see there what output it will give to us. Coming to the next things. See, logging into the Unix always. User ID is a unique name of the user. That should be there. Password can be changed always. This user ID, what I am telling, what we logged in, for example, root. There can be how many roots? You can ask me the question. Sir, Unix operating system is a multi-user operating system. You told how many roots can be there? No, single root can be there. Multi-user it is. I'll agree. The each user will have must have a unique identification. This is very much important. So you will be identified by your Unix operating system with your username first. Password is there only for your authentication. Yes, you are that user. For that authentication, the password is there. That password is just for authentication purpose. But the environment which it's want to give to you, the Unix, multi-user, as you know, Unix is a multi-user Unix operating system. In that, I will tell one user should have only these privileges, and another user must have still some more privilegizations, and some other user must have some more privilegizations. Where the user, once if you log in, you doesn't know that I'm having only these privilegizations. Are you getting my point? Until you will do, you want to do that particular task, permission denied, the command will come or output will come. Until that you don't know. Same flavor will be there for everyone. So how your Unix server or main Unix operating system will make you differ from one user to another user? That is based on your user. Under your user, the privileges will be given by the administrator will be there clearly. So that is the one thing which you should know. Now coming to the next, password can be changed. 100% you can change your password, and then it's a case sensitive. That we know that. Make sure no one is looking while you enter your password. These things are all love things you know already, and what password don't and all. You know how to give a password and all. Why? Because still then you have used many passwords, and you have typed many passwords also. Now we are here to learn about a commands. Now use the Unix passwd command. Now we'll go back with the terminal, and we'll look how to change, how to give a new password or how to change a password and all. Before that, pwd command once we will see in that particular thing. So we'll go back with a VM server. Yeah. VMware, yeah, go back page, yes, share this. Now, back here. Now observe what a command I'll type, pwd, right? Press enter. Now observe here, it is showing a slash root. What do you mean by the slash root? Now root is a present working directory where I am working as an administrator. If you are not a root, there will be no hash format will be there, and means hash prompt will be there, and you will have a dollar prompt if you are another user. So all users will be there under one directory. I'll tell you when we'll discuss about an Unix file system. I'll tell you very clearly of that particular things. Don't worry about that. Now coming to the things here. So pwd command. Now presently I am on a root. It has been working out. Now I told, sorry, passwd that we have discussed. This is a password command which we are going to use it to change a password, or you can give a new password, something like that. Now changing password for user root. I type, see, I'm always here that I will type raw everything and we'll press enter. If it gives error, we'll learn from error. If it doesn't gives any error and all, we'll go according to the procedure. Very simple. So always when we learn any tool, error and a fault method, and definitely we'll learn more. Now you see new Unix password it's asking, but you all love things, that is 8 characters. You have to use a special character, alphabets in between, means special characters in between, numbers you have to use. So that things and all you can do. Now I will change the password just for a sake of now. Just I'm going to do like this. A B C D at 1 2 3, right? See, bad password, it is too simplicity, or it will be there. Retype a password. If I type wrong, A, B, C, at 1, 2, 3. Sorry, passwords do not match. Are you seeing here? So when I missed the retype, confirm password when I missed, sorry, password doesn't match. Now I am going to give a same passwords. That is A, B, C, D at 1, 2, 3, 4. Enter. Now A, B, C, D at 1, 2, 3, 4. All authentication tokens updated successfully and password has been changed. Now, if I log out, either my old password will work or not. So question arises always. Correct? No? We'll check it once. Just I'll close this and I'll try to reopen this. Power off. You shouldn't go with suspend. You should go with power. Yeah, it's closed. Again, we'll go. And before that, just I'll make a power and open here. Right, and now is there here, right? So share a window, yeah, back here, yes. Now you can see here, right, again we are loading with username and a password. It should ask me again. Now you see root, sorry, yeah, root username will never change, user unique. Now password, I will give older one, root 1, 2, 3. You see, it will tell a wrong password. Please enter your username and a password. You can't enter now into the root. You have changed the password. So then root, enter. Now I'll give the new one, A, B, C, D at 1, 2, 3, 4. Enter. Now see, it's logged in. Now pass WOD, we have seen how this pass WOD will work. Right. Pass WOD is only like this to change a password or of that particular user. What else we can use with a pass WOD? This question arises always. Only pass WOD is there to change the user password and to give a new password. Only for that we are using. For any other things we can do with this pass WOD. This question arises always. So how to learn the Unix commands in detail? For that, you must know the manual of that particular command. What do you mean by this manual of that particular command? I'll tell you like this. The manual of a command is like this. A written documentary will be there in your Unix operating system about that particular command. If it is there, means that command is existing command. If it is working, for that command, manual pages will be there. What is this manual pages? There's a manual pages. What is this command? How this command is useful, what are the functions related to this particular command, and how you can use this particular command in different ways. All this manual pages or using of that particular command will be present in that particular. Then how I can see that? Simple, you have to go with a man command. That is man, for example, if I want a pass WD, just for a sake, you can see now how beautiful it is, you can see. And not only one thing you can do with the pass WD, and you can do different things also. Now you can see the name here, pass WD, update a user's authentication token. So here for user authentication things we are going to use, and this is user utility command, and pass WD command will comes with different options also. What do you mean by different options? What for this particular options will be useful? And always you can ask me the question, what is the option, sir? First of all, we don't know that. Correct? No? Yeah, usually you don't know. First of all, how a command will execute. This is another question will come to your mind always uh, in a Unix. I will tell you. I will tell you. Don't worry about that. Now you see what is here. A manual pages how it will looks. You must know this. This is the intention. That's it. Your name, synopsis means the syntax, how you can use this particular command, and description about that particular command will be there. And I'm coming down, and what for each option will do, what for you have to use that particular options, the details will be there here. You can see the details clearly. And remember the following two principle: protect your password means it's telling how to protect your password, and how you can make your password with full securitized password, how you can make and all. So how an exit code will works, conforming to, and where actually this password is there in a file systems, it is also will be mentioned here. So this is very clear. The full detailed things about that particular command will be given in a Unix. Then that's why I'll tell you, learning Unix is very easy. And just if you know a name of a command, if you in a list of a paper, if you keep some names of a commands, and you can learn easily by yourself always. How you can learn, just man and give that command name, and it will give you the full details one by one option. You keep on work it out, then you learn more about that particular command. Learning on in Unix on your own, it's very easy. Then just I'll quit it. I press the Q there, quit it. Now coming back here, how a command will execute. I typed a man pass WD. Coming here, your Unix knows always thing like this, it will execute. The shell wants a set of words. That set of words will be taken and it will execute that set of words. What is this set of words? The set of words separated by a space. The set of words separated by a space. The first word always will be treated as a command. I'll stop this sharing. We'll go to some other tool. Just make use of that. I'll use here just 1 minute. Just use a notepad here just to show you. Notepad. Right now, coming over here, you can see just for a sake using a board and all. Instead of that, I'm using a notepad here. Just I will type whatever a prompt is there. Root at localhost, right, and let it be. So this is the prompt, always it will be there, right? Now the command. See, your bash shell needs instruction in a form of words. So words, it is separated by spaces. For example, I'll type like this: word 1 space, word 2 space, word 3 space, word 4. Right. Now, all these are a set of words which are there in a single instruction. This is very much important, which is there in a single instruction. If I press enter, all these words will be treated as a single instruction and it will be taken as an instruction to process. The words here differentiated with a space, no commas. Default in a Unix is a space. So all words should be differentiated like that. Now, coming to the next step. Always the first word should be a command. Always the first word should be a command. What command? The command, either it's an internal command or an external command, which is known by your Unix operating system. Otherwise, it will tell command not found. Very clearly, I'm telling you. Otherwise, it will tell command not found. Now, assume that the first one is there. You can ask me the question, what for the other words? What for the other words? You can ask me. The other words can be there as an arguments. Always is first argument will be a command name and remaining arguments whatever you are going to take the next arguments will be taken as an input for that particular command. This is important. Note it down. So the first word is a command, the other words are an arguments giving to that particular command. Very simple. Always your Unix operating system will work in that particular method. The next question arises. Sir, what is the options? You have told option. What is the options? You have told that the first one is a command and another one is arguments which has been given as an input to that command only. Then how options is differentiate? So question arises. Am I right? So right. So how you can give a options of that particular command? Now I'll go with the same concept. Root at localhost. Just for a sake, I'm doing this. Yeah. Now assume that word one. I want to use some options of this command. Right. So separated by space always option one, option two with other arguments as word two, word three are input to that. Then how a shell will differentiate the arguments with your options? First one is a command, no need, shell knows always, leave it up. Then there must be a differentiation between your option and your other arguments. Sorry, how the bash shell will differentiate which is the option, which is a argument, which is a one which should be given as an input. After giving as an input, option is the one which should be used that and it should give an output of that option function. How it is differentiation it will do? Always the options will be identified by hyphen. This you have to keep in your mind. This is very much important. Once a command is there, the first one is a command, it will check for options. How option will be identified? Option will be identified by an hyphen. If hyphen followed by a word is there, then compulsorily that is an option. So it will take that option as a function. Okay, this option I should use for this command. And next arguments whatever is there, that will be an input to that particular command. Based on this input arguments, using this particular option, what output you should give. So in this way, the command instruction will be always executes on a Unix operating system. Any Unix operating system, any flavor of a Unix operating system will be executes the command instructions only in this particular format. So how to know about the command options and the arguments what I used to give? Follow the man command. It's very simple. So in this things, now we'll go back. We'll go back to our man command and pass WOD, and we'll see. We'll use some options, and we'll see how this particular options can be applied in practically. Just I'll come out of this notepad, then I'll share again. Minute. Yeah, go back here. I'll share the VMware, right? Fedora back here. Now again, I told you that man, I will learn something about my pass WD, right? Man pass WD, right? Now here, password is a command. Option K is there. What for this option K will come over here. What for this option K? The option K is used to indicate that the update should only be for expired authentication tokens, passwords. The user wishes to keep their non-expired tokens as before. What do you mean by this? You read once again, the option K is used to indicate that the updated password, whatever you're updating, the password updated should only be for expired authentication, already expired, the authentication expires. So within this particular time, the authentication gets expired. Yes, you will create a user and you will give a password to that user, and you can tell only this particular time this password will be there for you. Now you can see option L. This option is used to lock the specified account, and it is available to root only. The locking is preferred by rendering the encrypted password into an invalid string. So whatever is there, whatever a password once you have given, if you have used option L, assume root will assign some password to the so and so user. While assigning that password, you will use option L. Are you getting my point? There, user cannot change his password. His password has been locked. Only root can change his password. That is a thanks for a option L, option U. This is the reverse of the option L. So it will unlock the account password by removing the exclamatory prefix. This option is available to root only. So root can change permanently the password using option D. This is quick way to disable a password for an account. If I want to disable a password, this password is not at all available, then I can disable using option D. It will set the named account password less available to root only. Like this, different options will be there which you can use, option N, option X, option W, which you can read yourself and you can make the things. Now quit from here, Q you should give. Now I'll go back what I learned from D. I want to use the option D, just I'll give -D, enter. This option requires a username. Very clearly it's telling. That means pass WD, option D. I will tell you student. What is the intention here? For a student, I want to disable the password. That's it. So root, I'm a root now, in a hash, I'm a root, yes, I'm a root now. I can do anything, press enter. Removing password for user student, password success. Now according to us, student doesn't have a password. I can log in as a student easily now. Now to check this, we'll go back. Just I'll shut down once again. We'll go back and we'll check in depth. Just I'll shut down, power off. Yes. Once, just a minute, I'll reopen that. Right. Come back, share this. VMware. Yeah, VMware is here. Now you can observe. I'll double click here first. It has to load. If anybody having a doubts in between, you can interrupt me, not on issues, and you can ask any doubts. Right, I want a student, as I told you, I click on a student. Yes. I clicked on a student, it doesn't ask me any password, I logged in. Yes, now I'm a student. How to know I'm a student? Double click. You can see dollar prompt here, student at localhost, changed. Are you seeing here? Dollar prompt. Now I am a just as a user. Now I am not a root. I'm not a boss. Now I am a user. I should use according to my privileges given my boss, who is the administrator, that is a root. Now I'll type a PWD again here. You can see slash home slash student. That means all users will be there in one home folder. That will be there under a mine. So you should understand the file system now one by one. That means root will not be there when I am logged in as a root. When I given a pwd slash root, it has given very clearly. Now as a user, if I log in, now it is giving slash home slash student. That means a root will be there, will be placed in somewhere else in operating system, and all other users will be placed somewhere else in operating system. That means your operating system is treating the root administrator in one way and all other users in other. So this is the administrator, that means is having a more privileges than this, and is the one who will give a privileges to this particular users. Now coming to that pass WD option D, it's working here. Without any password, we logged it. We logged in, and you can take an example of this student and root, and using a pass WD different options you can apply on this particular student, and you can evaluate that particular pass WD command in depth. That you can take it as an assignment with the different options, option N, option L, option K, option W. You can use, and you can see what is happening on that particular thing. Today afternoon only you can check it out, and tomorrow you can ask me the question, sir, this option is not working and it has given an error, like that you can ask me, not on a issues. Now just I'll go back, I'll log out from this particular thing. Now don't ask me that, sir, how we can create a user and how user can be added and how a privileges can be given to a user and all. We'll tell you that at in an administrator stage of a Unix. At the last stage, still we are in a beginning stage. My intention here is you must know about a man command very clearly. With a man, you can learn any Unix commands easily. That is my intention here. Now we'll go back to the Unix file system. Once you should know that, you should know the file system. If you know the file system and how Unix treats each and every file, if you know that, then it's very easy to handle any type of commands. Just I'll log out from this particular thing. I'll switch on to the other user. Just I'll go here, system. I will tell here only shutdown is there. Yes. So restart. Not an issues. Just restart it. Now it's restarting, rebooting. Start told bootloader and all, no, that's a booting above. So once it's booted your kernel everything, and then your kernel will play the role. Sir told, right? No. So first it will comes always booting Fedora of so and so version, which you can see while booting itself. Yeah. Now I'll go as a root. If I root, I'm having a lot of privileges. When password is changed, keep in your mind ABCD at 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it will open. If you give old password, it never opens. Yeah. Now come how the Unix file system will be there and all you can see here. I'll go to the file system. Yes. Whatever slash you are seeing here, the slash is looking over here, I think. Am I right? And you can see under the slash, these many folders will be there. That is bin, boot, device files, etc files, which will comes our authentication files, everything will be there, log files, everything will be there in etc. Home file, lib file. I'll tell one by one, one by one, and you can see what for what folder will be there. Before this, I want to tell Unix treats each and every file as a text file. Keep in your mind always. Why Unix is free from virus? This also you have to keep in your mind. Not like Windows or any other operating systems. A Unix is a one type of an operating system where it can't be opened directly as an means directly cannot be opened to an virus or on any worms here. See, actually to say Unix, it will treat everything as a text file. It never thinks it's as a batch file or an executable file. For example, I will tell you. In a Windows, .exe files can be run directly, can be executed directly. So just giving a name. Windows knows that .exe file is an executable file, so it will execute. That means automatically whenever .exe file will comes into picture, it will loads automatically, it will going to run. Virus will use this particular concept. But in a Unix operating system, everything will be treated as a text file. So for example, I think everyone you have run a C program. All my students which have seen here that you have run a C program. After compiling a C program, the output will be there in a.out. It's an executable file. If I type a.out directly, it will execute. No, I need a dot slash a.out. Dot slash is a runner, and that will tell a Unix operating system that the file what you are taking is an executable file. You have to execute that. Until then, the execution cannot be taken directly, which you will give a permission using chmod. That is different. That I will tell you. Once if you give an executional mode, so these things will be taken into the directly you can do the things. That is a different issues. But until you will make authenticate of your permissions, you can't run any executable file directly in a. That means default Unix will thinks always each and every file as a text file with bytes of data in that. That's it. So for a device files and for other files and all, it should be intimated that this is a device files. This is a file system. In this folder, device files is there. In this folder, commands is there. In this folder, users are there. In this folder, so and so is there. Like that, you have to intimate your Unix that in this folder, these files are there. You treat these files as for this purpose. That so then that type of a files you have to keep there only to utilize that files in that particular manner. For example, I'll write one device driver program. I want to connect some hardware stick or a joystick to my Unix operating system. Assume I'll connect it and I will write one device driver program for my new equipment. After writing a device driver program, I will keep that program file in a root or somewhere else. Oh, your Unix operating system doesn't know that. So where I should keep that file? You should keep that file in a device dev file. All your device driver files will be there here. It is telling about a disk, it's telling about a bus, it's telling about an input, and it's telling about different other parts, hardware parts of your things. Then you place your device driver here. If you placed your device driver file here and if you give it automatically the locate, why? Because your operating system knows that all device files are here. Once a new device is connected, so it will go for a device driver directly to that folder. It will see for a device driver. So that's an easy thing, right? So now you understood what for the file system is there in a Unix. Now you come back with one by one. And you see the bin folder here, right? And these are all some executable, means batch files like that. It's seen. You can see here AWK is there, cat is there, ch group is there, cp is there. These are all commands. Yes, these are all commands which is there as an executable files here, right? As I told you, the external commands will be there. Login is there. You can see, yeah, MK node is there, and you can see some other things. PS is there, red is there. All this RMDIR means directory command, RPM command is there, S command, SH command is there, touch command is there. Like that, different commands are there here. Overall, 106 items as in a command sits there in a bin directory that I told ABCD. Correct? No? ABCD, first it will check in a shell itself, then it will go and check in a bin directory whether that particular command is there. Yes, if that command is there, then it will execute that command. Otherwise, it never executes. Do you ask me the question like this, sir, can I create my own command? Yes, always you create your own command. Either you can use a shell script. After this session, you will come to know that. Either you can use a shell script or either you can use any of your C program. Create one particular command and place that command file here. So once give executable permissions for that, and if you place in a bin directory, then automatically that will become a command, a new command for that particular operating system. That much flexibility is there as a root in a Unix operating system. Now coming to the next folder, you can see the boot. At a booting time, what it has to do, how a booting scenario, booting configuration can be done, and what kernel files it has to load and which version of kernel files it has to load. Everything is defined here. The grub is a one which is a separator between an operating system. While booting, assume some 2-3 operating systems are there in your hard disk. Just for a second, I'll tell you, and your booter will ask you what you want to load first of all. Either you want to load Ubuntu, either you want to load Fedora, either you want to load Windows. So for that, we need a grub in a Unix operating system or an Linux operating system. So this folder will be there for that particular thing. And as I told, device already. Now you can see the etc file here. Right now, coming to the etc file, you can see a different passwords, fonts, firmwares will be there here. This is for authentication purpose. Almost all for an authentication purpose, we are going to use this particular folders. If you want passwd will be there according to me here only. Just for a second. Yeah, you can see here passwd command. Yeah. Yes. Yes, passwd is there here. You can ask me the question, sir. You have told the commands, external commands will be there in a bin directory. Then why you are telling now passwd is there in etc? No, etc is meant for authentication commands. All your log files, authentication commands, some authentication privileges commands, everything whatever will be there. Not only for your Unix operating system, any other applications authentication commands, whatever will be there, and log entries of that particular applications. Everything will be there in this particular etc. Coming to the next thing, that is a home directory. Whatever a new users you are going to create it will be there in this particular directory. You can see now student, yeah, whatever student files student will create, see desktop environment of that student, entire environment is there in this folder. That means that particular student user will be there at that home stage. Home itself, it's very his world is there under home, means home directory, under that whatever is there, his world is there. Like that, I'm in my MCA department. BMSIT campus is very big. I'm in an MCA department. MCA department is one place for me. Comparative to the when I come out of MCA department, BMSIT is there, right? So like that, the every user is having his own environment within this particular home directory. So that's the one thing. All library supporting files will be there here, media supporting files will be there here, and miscellaneous files. The mounting, whichever devices you are going to mount, new secondary devices, pen drives, whatever you are going to mount, that will be there here in this particular folder related to net commands. Whatever net devices you are going to connect, that's not there actually, will be there here. And your root directory, you know that now you are a root, so your environment is here. And see, GVD CN 2020 folder is there in root directory, but you are not seen in student. It will be never like that. Then coming to the SBIN, you can see what is this. External commands will be there here of application commands. Whatever external application commands will be there, all that commands, and super administrative commands will be there here. What do you mean by this? The administrative commands will be there in this particular SBIN, that is super user bin directory. This directory is meant only for router, not for else others. That means the commands, whatever is there in this particular thing, can be used by the root or an administrator only. That's way this is a SBIN. So here, all the command files, whatever is there, it can be executed. Coming to the next thing. SA Linux is not so important for you. Coming to user, yeah, this is important. What is this user? Now, whatever other applications which you will install, it will be loaded in this particular user. Either you can load Java is there here, you can see Java is there. In user bin, you can load even different other application commands or other application services also you can load here in this particular user bin. Just a minute. It's taking time. Lot of material on there. Yeah, we'll go with other things. Will come on later. Don't worry about that. Again, etc is there. Again, you can ask me why is there again etc. User etc. It's meant for application, login files, logout files, registries, everything. And here src is there. The source. See, ns2 is there here. So any application you have installed, now once you install the application here, and automatically from wherever you want, if you give a privileges to even a user, that user can run a ns2. If you give a privileges, root defaultly he can run ns2. Means in his prompt he can run that particular thing. Once the privileges has been given for this ns2 to run for a student user also, then student at his dollar prompt he can run ns2 programs. That's why this is a one where the source means always source other applications will be installed in this particular area, and local bin will be there, whichever with games and all will be taken into consideration here. So that's the one thing which you should know. where is there as a accountable thing, FTP, network things, something like that. Don't worry about more on this. So this is about a Unix file system. I've told very clearly the Unix file system, always Unix makes this files differentiating, the work of a files differentiating based on this particular directories. So device driver should always be in a div. Password authentication files always in here. User related documents should be always in home, like that. External command should be there, which will be meant for users. It should be there for bin. User administrative commands, that means administrator commands will be there in SBin. Like this, it will be used. Now, once knowing all this Unix file system, now we can get into the Unix commands. Now, after knowing all these particular things, we'll go back to the terminal and there we'll start working about the different Unix commands in tomorrow's session. Almost all we are having around 75 to 80 Unix commands is there. So if possible, all the commands we are here to teach you. Otherwise, we'll give a list and you can go with it. Anyway, I told about how to know a command. So if you give once the list using a man command, I think you can learn on your own this particular thing. Just I'll stop the sharing. Right. So I'll close this. Yeah. Now, as a today's session, what do you have to do after this till morning session? Just go to the Unix environments. As sir told, online bash also will be there. Means online Unix commands also you can execute. Go there and try out with different Unix commands. What I have given you and all. Try with that commands. Try to execute the commands. See what are options. Give a man to that command. And in tomorrow morning, one command at least, all whoever students are there here, each student's one command you have to tell me, sir, this is command, use it for this particular purpose, and these many options are there in this command, and this option is for this. Using a man command, you have to tell me. This is an assignment for you. I think it's good. If you learn like this, you will be more confident. So all the students who are present here, you take Unix. You type in a internet Unix commands. You take one command, put it in a man, note down all the options, everything. Tell tomorrow to me about what command you have learned. We'll exchange our informations. Okay, I will end the session today like this. Now it's open for questions. Any questions is there? You can ask me now. Any questions? Any questions? Students? Students? Any doubts? Manish? Sarfaraj?
No, sir, no doubt.
Saket? Shraddha? Tejaswini?
No doubt, sir.
Tomorrow you will do like that, what I told you. Listening?
Yes,
Okay, sir.
Huh?
yes, sir.
Yeah, tomorrow morning we'll start a session with you only. Now you will be the resource persons tomorrow. Sarfaraj will take one command. Pratik, Saket, everyone you will take one command. Through man, what you learned about that command, you are going to tell me. Right? Tejaswini?
Okay, sir.
Okay, pa. Tomorrow morning 9:30 we'll start a session. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.